Martha Stewart's story is one of the most extraordinary transformations in modern American history, a journey that begins with a simple girl from New Jersey and evolves into the rise, fall, and stunning rebirth of one of the most influential businesswomen in the world. It's a story about creativity, ambition, perseverance, and the power of reinvention, a tale that proves failure isn't the opposite of success, it's part of it. Long before she became a cultural icon, Martha Helen Kostyra was the daughter of hardworking Polish immigrants. She grew up in a modest home where values like discipline, resourcefulness, and craftsmanship were taught not in classrooms but around the dinner table. Her mother taught her cooking and sewing, while her father showed her how to garden and appreciate the beauty of nature. These seemingly ordinary lessons planted the seeds of her empire long before she knew what the word entrepreneur meant. Martha was a perfectionist even as a child. She paid attention to details others ignored, the way a pie crust should look, the symmetry of flowers in a vase, the balance of colors in a table setting. She didn't just want things done, she wanted them done beautifully. That instinct for aesthetics would become her lifelong trademark. In her teenage years, Martha wasn't just known for her creativity but also her discipline. She modeled to earn extra money and later attended Barnard College in New York City, where she studied history and architectural design. But her ambitions were never limited to one field. She was always curious, always restless, always creating. After marrying Andrew Stewart, she began balancing family life with a growing curiosity about business and home design. It was during this time that she discovered her true calling, transforming the everyday into something extraordinary. What made Martha unique wasn't that she could cook or decorate, millions could do that, it was that she could take ordinary tasks and elevate them into an art form. She didn't just show people how to bake bread, she showed them how to create an experience, to live beautifully and intentionally. Her first big breakthrough came almost by accident. After moving to Westport, Connecticut, she began catering small events. Her attention to presentation and taste made her an instant hit. Soon, her catering business grew rapidly, attracting high-profile clients who were dazzled not only by her food but also by her creative vision. This success opened the door to her first major project, a book. In 1982, Martha released Entertaining, a guide that changed how America thought about hosting and homemaking. It wasn't just a cookbook, it was a lifestyle statement. It told readers that elegance was achievable, that home could be a reflection of one's best self. That book became a bestseller and launched the Martha Stewart brand, a name that would soon become synonymous with sophistication, creativity, and success. After the success of Entertaining in 1982, Martha Stewart's life began to shift dramatically. She wasn't just an author anymore, she was a brand. Her name carried a certain sophistication, a promise of excellence. She appeared on television shows, featured in magazines, and inspired a new generation of homemakers who wanted to blend creativity with practicality. Her ability to make complex things seem simple made her instantly relatable, yet her flawless execution made her aspirational. That delicate balance, being both attainable and extraordinary, became the secret to her growing influence. By the late 1980s, Martha's vision had expanded far beyond the kitchen. She was building something revolutionary, a lifestyle empire. She wanted to create a world where beauty, organization, and taste could coexist effortlessly. She saw what others didn't, that the way people live and the way they present their lives could become a form of art and commerce. While most saw homemaking as a simple domestic duty, Martha elevated it to a global industry. Her magazine, Martha Stewart Living, launched in 1990, was a reflection of her perfectionism and vision. Every issue was meticulously curated, from the color tones of a cake frosting to the arrangement of flowers in a garden spread. Readers didn't just read Martha Stewart Living, they lived it. The magazine gave people something they didn't even know they needed, the belief that the ordinary could be extraordinary. It taught readers how to find joy in details, how to transform chaos into calm, and how to express creativity through every corner of their home. The success of the magazine paved the way for her television show, also titled Martha Stewart Living. It wasn't just a show, it was a movement. Martha's calm voice, precise demonstrations, and immaculate settings made viewers feel both comforted and inspired. Her presence exuded control, confidence, and warmth, qualities that built trust and loyalty among her audience. Within a few years, she had become the undisputed face of American lifestyle. People didn't just admire her, they wanted to be her. By 1997, Martha Stewart took her empire to the next level by forming Martha Stewart Living Omnimedia. This move was nothing short of visionary. She consolidated all her ventures, magazines, television, merchandising, and books, into one multimedia powerhouse. She wasn't just the talent anymore, she was the CEO. When her company went public in 1999, it made her the first self-made female billionaire in the United States. It was a monumental achievement, but what made it even more inspiring was that Martha had built it all from her own creativity and discipline, not from inheritance, not from luck, but from a relentless work ethic and an unshakable belief in her vision. Martha Stewart's story isn't just a tale of success, it's a saga of brilliance, downfall, and the kind of courage that turns rock bottom into a foundation for rebirth. Born in New Jersey to hard-working parents, Martha grew up in a modest home that celebrated discipline, creativity, and determination. She learned to cook, sew, and garden from her mother, and these early lessons would later define her empire. Long before she became a household name, Martha was a model, gracing magazines like Glamour and Harper's Bazaar in her teenage years. But her real passion wasn't posing for cameras, it was creating beauty from the ordinary. She loved transforming simple things into something extraordinary, a meal, a room, a celebration. That instinct, that eye for elegance, became her greatest strength. After marrying Andy Stewart and starting a family, Martha began a small catering business from her basement kitchen. With nothing but her hands, determination, and perfectionism, she turned it into a booming success. She treated every dish as art, every event as a masterpiece. People started to notice her genius. Soon, her cookbook Entertaining became a bestseller, and the name Martha Stewart became synonymous with taste, quality, and sophistication. But fame comes with pressure. Her empire grew rapidly: magazines, TV shows, home decor lines, and even a deal with Kmart. Martha Stewart Living Omnimedia became a cultural powerhouse. She wasn't just selling recipes or table settings, she was selling a dream, the dream of a perfect life. Her ability to combine practicality with beauty made her a symbol of success, especially for women who wanted it all. She became a billionaire, the first self-made female billionaire in the U.S. built purely on lifestyle branding. But just when the world thought she had it all, life dealt her the hardest blow. In 2001, Martha was accused of insider trading, a case that would nearly destroy her reputation. The media feasted on her downfall. Overnight, the woman who symbolized perfection became the face of scandal. She was sentenced to 5 months in prison. Many believed it was the end of her empire. But Martha? She saw it as a test. While behind bars, she refused to let bitterness consume her. She made her prison cell cleaner, mentored fellow inmates, and spent her time reflecting on her life. She emerged not as a broken woman, but as a symbol of resilience. Her release marked one of the greatest comebacks in modern business history. She didn't hide from her past, she owned it. She stepped right back into the spotlight, determined to rebuild what she had lost. Within a year, she relaunched her brand, returned to television, and reminded the world that true strength isn't about never falling, it's about rising again with grace. Her show The Martha Stewart Show became a hit, and collaborations with brands like Macy's reignited her empire. Martha Stewart's journey after her comeback became more than a story of survival, it became a blueprint for transformation. Once labeled a fallen icon, she redefined what it meant to be a woman of power in a world that celebrates success but punishes imperfection. After her release, most people expected her to retreat quietly, to fade from the spotlight she once commanded so effortlessly. But Martha had no intention of disappearing. Instead, she walked out of prison with her head high, ready to reclaim everything she had built, and she did it with grace, confidence, and unshakable purpose. Her empire, though shaken, wasn't destroyed. Her fans returned, drawn not just to her expertise but to her humanity. She had faced public scrutiny and humiliation, yet she stood firm, showing that dignity can survive even the harshest storms. She began writing again, cooking again, creating again, as if to tell the world that talent doesn't vanish because of one mistake. What made her comeback so powerful wasn't just her business genius, it was her ability to turn vulnerability into strength. She understood something most people forget, that authenticity is more magnetic than perfection. Martha stopped trying to be flawless and started being real. Her voice grew warmer, her humor sharper, her wisdom deeper. She became relatable. She started connecting not just with homemakers, but with an entire generation that saw in her the spirit of endurance. Every television appearance, every magazine cover, every product she launched carried the same silent message: you can rise again. Soon, collaborations flooded in, from fashion to food, from television to cannabis lifestyle branding with Snoop Dogg. She embraced pop culture with a confidence that turned her into an unexpected icon of modern relevance. Martha wasn't just surviving, she was thriving, evolving faster than her critics could define her. Behind this evolution was a woman who had mastered reinvention. She never let the weight of public opinion crush her inner drive. She treated her brand like her garden, pruning, replanting, and nurturing it to bloom again, no matter how harsh the winter had been. She poured her creativity into every new venture, from home products to digital content, ensuring that her legacy adapted to every era. When others aged out of relevance, Martha stepped into social media, understanding that to stay alive in business, one must stay curious, flexible, and hungry. She began inspiring not just homemakers, but young entrepreneurs who saw her as the embodiment of second chances. They admired her ability to merge tradition with modernity, elegance with resilience, and style with substance. What makes Martha Stewart's success story timeless is the depth of her lessons. She teaches us that success built only on perfection is fragile, but success built on persistence lasts forever.